Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. I hope Friday night was good to you. Did you party hard last night? We did. Partied real hard on the couch. We watched Evan Almighty together. My kids, we watched Bruce Almighty a couple nights ago, and my one son found it hilarious. Evan Almighty is a little bit more kid friendly, so the younger son also watched this one with us, and it's about Steve Carell has to build an ark in his backyard, or well, the lot's next to his house. And so the story was not, it's not as good as Bruce Almighty, but definitely entertaining still. So my boys liked it. They still found it pretty funny. Although there were some parts of it that were like stressful. Like my wife was even like, "This okay? This is giving me anxiety." But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. There's a line in that movie that for me means a lot. And I thought that I would talk about that real quick here because it's something that the last time I saw this movie, which might have been 10 years ago, I actually wrote this down. And I think it's incredibly important. Um, Especially, a lot of times in hard times, in times of struggle, we pray for help, right? Or even in this time right now, we even almost sort of give up on ourselves and we give up on the work that we're doing and we just pray for it to be over. Um, and I think it's got to be bigger than that. I think it's a challenge. I think that these are the times that define us, kind of what we talked about the other day, right? These are the times that let us know who we are. And are we going to rise to the occasion or are we going to shrink and regress? Um, and I've seen and heard from Define My Day users who have put it on hold, who have stopped. They're going to wait until this is all over. And no, that's not the answer. That is not the answer at all. Now is the time to use it as a way to keep moving forward, to grow even more. You have more time now to work on yourself. You have more time now to understand who you are. You have more time now to devote to daily disciplines and understanding why we feel the certain ways. And look, you're a part, and one of the issues that a lot of people have are the people at work and family and the relationships that cause them problems. This is your time to grow in yourself to be the person that you want to be. So now is not the time to quit at all. Do not quit. And I don't care what it is, even if you're not even doing Define My Day, whatever you thought was healthy for you before, don't quit doing it now. You absolutely have to double down on that. Do what you know is healthy for you right now. Do it every day. You have time. It's so easy to just give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. This quote came at a moment in the movie from Morgan Freeman talking to Evan's wife. She had just taken the kids out of the house, was leaving to go live with her mother, and she was feeling guilty about it, and she was sitting in a restaurant. So God appears to her as a server, and he says, "Let me ask you something. If someone prays for patience, you think God gives them patience, or does he give them the opportunity to be patient? If he prayed for courage, does God give him courage or does he give him opportunities to be courageous? If someone prayed for the family to be closer, do you think God zaps them with warm, fuzzy feelings or does he give them opportunities to love each other?" I don't look, you could be an atheist, you could be what you can believe in whatever you believe in. That right there is everything. You are not going to wake up one day and feel whatever you want to feel. You are not going to wake up one day and suddenly have energy and motivation and whatever. You need to do for yourself what you want to have done for yourself. You will have the opportunity to grow. You will have the opportunity to improve. You will have the opportunity to be happy in your own life. You have to take that opportunity. You have to create that opportunity. This is not This right now, what's going on right now, is an opportunity to become what you want to become, to learn what you want to learn, to figure out who you are, away from the people that you feel oppress you and the people that you feel treat you a certain way. You now have space to grow in the way that you want to grow. Take that opportunity. Create your life the way you want to create it. I understand their stress. I understand their struggle. I understand we're apart from our support groups. I get all of that. I'm feeling the same thing. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my health. I'm worried about my family's health. I'm worried about the future of our family. I'm worried about what happens if something happens to me, who's going to take care of my family. I'm worried about my dad who's in Florida and is apart, and something could happen. I may never see him again. I'm worried about, all of the things, all of the dreams and things that I had a month ago. I don't know that any of that is valid anymore. The only thing that I know right now is that I can wake up and do what I need to do for myself and my family in this space. I can't do anything else. I can sit on the couch. I can feel sorry for myself. I can feel bad about all the things that are going on in the world. I can complain about politics. I can complain about the way it's being handled. None of that does anything for me. None of it. I need to do for me what I know I need to be doing. And not doing that is only going to make me feel worse. It's going to make me feel anxious. It's going to make me feel like I'm not being authentic to who I should be right now. So if you're waking up and you're feeling bad, if you're waking up and there's just you have this feeling of like, what's it all worth? Find that worth. Find that worth. And when you start operating and start growing yourself, you will start to feel better about where you are. There are stressors. There's money. How am I going to live? How am I going to feed myself? How am I going to, how am I going to afford everything? I get it. But how is that going to be solved by not doing anything or not doing what's healthy for yourself? When you give yourself a good foundation to start from, other things are much more easily figured out. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's going to be a little bit easier. Take the opportunity. Take this opportunity. You are being ordered to stay home. Take the opportunity. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Tamara. Thank you very much. I'm gonna throw you guys up there. Janice, Deborah, Mary, Tamara. Good morning. Thank you very much. I'm feeling it today because I get frustrated when I see comments. Like, I can't do this right now, or that I'm taking a break. What are you taking a break from? Taking a break from life? This might not be the life that you imagined, but it's still life. This is your life right now. This is my life right now. We don't have the choice to take a break. When we choose to pull away, like, we're being told to pull away from society. I get it. But when we choose to pull away from our own lives, nothing good comes from that. Nothing good comes from that. We have to keep living. Diana, good morning in Florida. Just got off the phone with my dad, and he says it's dry down there. Dry. I hope you're doing well. Good morning, Jamie. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. I'm fired up today, right? I'm fired up. And I wore this hat on purpose. Just do it. I mean, it's like, it's seriously, it's that simple. Look, I want to be empathetic. I want to be sympathetic. I want to be understanding of what people are going through. I do. But at some point, we just have to do it. We know what we need to do. And when we don't do that, it just makes us feel worse. It does. And we can't continue that cycle of events. You got to take care of yourself. Diana, stay connected. Yeah. And this is staying connected. We're apart, but we still need to be stay connected to the people that are good for you, right? We talk about in the past I've talked a lot about toxic relationships and the things that really bring us down, and how me in my own life in the past couple of years I've pulled away from other people, right? I've pulled away from like relationships that I just knew like were just causing too much noise in my head. I had that opportunity because I can work from home. I don't have to go out. I don't need to be around certain people. And as I've tested those relationships going back out, I've seen ones that I'm like, yeah, I want to rebuild this relationship. And I've seen other ones where I'm like, nope, I know why I backed away, right? I'm good. I'm good. And I've felt bad for people that go into corporate environments that where that the relationships are unhealthy, and you're pushed into those relationships. And those relationships beat you down and you operate. It's almost like high school, that feeling you have where like you want to be liked, you want to be accepted, but these relationships make you operate outside of who you feel like you should be. And there's a lot going on. This is our chance right now to gain freedom from that. I can do whatever I want right now that makes me happy, that makes me fulfilled, that makes me grow in the direction that I want to grow. I don't have to be near that toxic person every day. Whoa, that's a gift. And now we can grow from that. We can grow here, and we can choose who we reach out to. And we can build the relationships with the good people that we have in our lives. We can strengthen that relationship. And then when we go back out into the world, in whether it's a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and we're then re-exposed to those relationships, well, we're going to have so much more clarity. And we're going to be able to set those boundaries like, well, you know what? I did good without this for 3 months. So I'm not going to reopen this one again, right? And you'll have more confidence in that because you'll be stronger in here and you'll be stronger up here. Take this opportunity to grow all of this. Absolutely. Good morning, Janet. Watching from Kentucky. Jamie, how are you? How's Kentucky doing? I haven't seen you guys on the news. I think you're not too bad yet. Good morning, Stacy. Happy Saturday, Laura. Good to see you. Tammy, Connecticut. Good to see you. Sheila, my lady, how you doing? Good morning. This is a time to embrace family, friends, and time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like this is an opportunity to grow together as a family. And you might have some tough relationships in the house. I get it. I've been there. We still have it. We handle things differently. We handle stress differently, anxiety differently. Sometimes you need to go in your opposite corners. Other times you need to come together, right? And one of the things, and this is morbid. I'm going to say hi to Amanda real quick. Hi, Amanda. Thank you for joining me. This is one thing that I want to hit real quick. And this is morbid, and this is a sad thought, but I think we all have it. If you look at the way this virus works, right? 80% of the people, probably pretty good, maybe 85%, we get sick and we get over it, no big deal. 15% go to the hospital, 5% go into severe illness, right? Once someone leaves the house and goes to the hospital, we may never see them again. You can't visit, they die alone. And they don't, I mean, at some point they might not even offer funerals, right? I mean, they might not be now. So this is the thought that I think about my kids and even about like my father when I'm talking to him in Florida. Like there's a chance, a small chance. I mean, he's over 65, so late 60s. There's a chance I may never see him again. So what's my last conversation with him going to be like? I'm talking with my kids every day. I have now the opportunity to sit with my kids at the dinner table and have conversations. I now have the opportunity to go on Fortnite and screw around with them on Fortnite once in a while. I now have the opportunity to hang out on the couch and watch movies with them. We can wrestle around. There's fun things we can do. I now have the opportunity with my wife. Things are slower. We're not going out. We're not apart. I now have the opportunity to build a better relationship with my wife in the same direction. If one day we wake up ill, and one of us has to leave this house and go to a hospital, and that's the last time we see each other, how are we going to feel about the time we spent right now? It's a, there's a stoic concept where, like, it's like memento mori or something like that, right? Where like, death is coming for all of us, and that knowledge helps you appreciate and enjoy the time we have now, and we can't waste it. And right now, it should be in clear view, right? There are things happening right now that should make us appreciate what we have right now. Good morning, Angel. Thank you for joining me. Jamie, not yet, trying to stay home, but other than that, it's actually a beautiful, warm day. Yeah, yesterday we had, or 2 days ago, we had a nice day. Yesterday rained. Today is going to rain here, and we're going to get some pretty bad thunderstorms, I guess. But tomorrow is going to be 71. We're going to cook some burgers and hot dogs and have a little family cookout outside. I'm looking forward to that. Gene in California. Chuck Bellino. What's going on, man? I've been watching your videos too, man. How are you? Good to see you. Angel, my oldest daughter was in the hospital yesterday. It was the first time I did not go to her when she needed me. Thankfully, she just has the flu and is now home. Good for you. Good for you. Flu's nothing to be happy about, but I'm glad that is it. Jamie says, that's what's scary, not knowing if you may or may not see a loved one again. Yeah, right? I mean, it's just like all of the BS that we've been so worried about, all the little things have been stripped away. It's like now we have the opportunity to understand what's important. Jennifer Kerstetter has a program for all of this. It says AFHD, but is good for everyone. Thank you, Janice. Appreciate that. Diana. Nice. Hi, Diana. So like kind of what we're doing around here, right? So as far as how I work out my day, so I have mine very bare bones today. Today, priority number one is us. So we're going to cook together and eat together, right? So my boys told me the other day, somebody on Fortnite was talking about he had lasagna for dinner. And my kid says, what's lasagna? I'm a terrible Italian. I'm terrible. I am almost 50% Italian. My wife is 100% Italian. Her parents were born in Italy. Her grandfather fought for the Italians in World War II. And our kids have never had lasagna. What? So my son, we're talking about this. And I'm like, you know what? I had to go out to the grocery store yesterday, which is like an experience. And I bought all the stuff we need for lasagna. And so today, as a family, like me and the two boys, we're going to make lasagna together. And so, that's kind of our thing. We're going to do that and then, eat it. Although lasagna is not on my dietary list, but I'm going to give it a little, I'll give it a little try. And I also bought the ingredients for wedding soup too. Cause I figured, if I'm going to make Italian food, there's comfort food out there that I'm not going to pass up. And wedding soup I can drink by the gallon. So I bought a ton of chicken stock. We have chicken, all the stuff we need. I'm going to make a ton of wedding soup. Tomorrow's burger and dog cookout, right? So we're gonna have fun these next 2 days together. Task number 2 is exercise, because me not wanting to be a hypocrite with you guys, my health has taken a hit. Look, I had my day. I was refining it constantly, but my day was set up so that I could go to the gym every day, and I made it so it was easy for me to exercise. Not so easy anymore, right? Our basement's overrun with books and stuff to pack. We don't have quite the exercise space that I need. And I don't have the equipment that I'm used to using anymore. But I can't keep that excuse going, right? So now the boys and I have set an appointment. 3 o'clock today, we're going to go down and exercise. They want to move around too. So we're going to go downstairs and move some weights around. And then task 3 for our priority of us is going to be movie night. We're going to watch another movie tonight. I think we're going to watch Dr. Dolittle. I think they released it direct to video or not. It's it's a kind of a remake of the Dr. Dolittle series. So we're going to do that. And then my priority number two is work. I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff for work, but nothing too important, but needs to get done today. And that's it. So this literally took me like 30 seconds to jot this stuff down. And I appreciate family. That's it. I appreciate family. Today I will avoid too much news because I know it. I can feel it. Today I get to enjoy cooking with the family. And then today's theme is us. And that's it. That's the simplicity of what is going on today. And that's it. I mean, it doesn't have to be hard. We just do the process and keep going. Uh, oh, Janice, correcting the you had a little typo there. So it's AFHD. You actually meant ADHD. I gotcha. Stacy, I've been enjoying time. Here, I'm going to put this on the screen. I've been enjoying time and headspace to step back from the grind of the many activities and responsibilities and deeply regroup. Yes. I'm digging deep into the things I really want to be doing and what are those things that I can do that actually make me happy. I like it. I like this thought track. It's a nice shift from having the priority being chasing down the bottom line. Yes. You've made me appreciate sunny days that much more. Love it. I love it. Good job. That's awesome. That's exactly what we should be doing. That's perfect. I love it. Can this be rewatched? Mary, yes. So you can rewatch it here. And after this, I also upload it to our YouTube station. It's youtube.com/definedlife. And you can also listen to it on the podcast. That'll get uploaded later on. That's the Defining Life podcast. We've been uploading all of these daily videos as uh, uh, bonus sessions on our podcast. Thank you, Cam. Sounds like a great plan for the day. Thanks for being an inspiration. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you watching me. I really do. And then I've been trying to walk around outside, get fresh air, and take pictures. Yeah, we've been trying to do more outside too. My wife has been taking the boys up the street on a walk. We did some yard work in the backyard. Tomorrow, I hope the weather holds up the way that it shows it will, and all the rain will be over. It might be a little bit muddy, but we can stick to some safe places in the backyard and just sit outside. The bugs aren't out yet, so we should be good in the backyard and just relax, hang out. I might even let my I might even have a beer and just chill out a little bit in the backyard. So yeah. There was something that I saw a comment and I wanted to go back to it. I can't remember what it was. I had a thought, but I can't remember what it was. So yeah. And when we, in all of this, it's just so important to realize that this is a short span. It seems emergent. It seems scary. It seems, um, we don't know. I mean, between the economy and our individual health and the health of the people we care about, we don't know what's coming at us, right? But um, we just have this is a small blip in human history. We've been through this. We've been through smallpox. We've been through the Spanish flu. We've been through the Black Plague. Like we've been through things. Humanity survives. What is our part in it? I mean, in what way are we going to matter here, like in our small part of all of this? You know, and I think that if we can investigate that, even if you are on the far end of depression and anxiety, um, this like you can really like you have an opportunity every day to work through that. And right now, because of the way the pressures of life have shifted, I actually think it's an opportunity to work through that a little bit better because you're not getting so much noise from the outside world. You can now really focus on working on yourself. And I have a love-hate relationship with therapy and conventional wisdom with depression. I mean, I've suffered through it myself. And I think a lot of it for me was patterns of thinking, not being disciplined personally. I think that, I had ingrained reactions to stressors that were in my life. And the only thought that kept me going through all of it was that I can change this. I can change this. No matter how bad it was, I always thought I can change this. I didn't have a framework to do it. I didn't have I didn't have the slightest idea how to do it, but I knew that going to therapy didn't help me. When somebody's going, that's really terrible. I didn't want anybody to say that to me. I wasn't looking for sympathy. I was looking for a plan to get me out of it. I was looking for like a way, like, tell me what's wrong, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and then I can change that. Right? I was trying to like look at it very analytically and or very mechanically, like binary. Like I shouldn't do this. I should do this. And a lot of the stuff I didn't want to hear, but sometimes you just need to hear, like, you need to stop doing this. Like, this isn't good for you. And so I had that thought in my head. I can fix this. I can change this. And over time, over years, 10, 20 years, I started to figure it out, right? And as things were like this, I started to come up and then down a little bit more and then up a little bit more. And it was up and down a lot, but I got through it. And so, it's easier, I think, when we're like in like our space, kind of like where we want to be. When you're depressed, you kind of want to be like away a little bit. And so now, there's nobody yelling at us to do things and things that we don't want to do. And now we can just sit and grow, pick a good book, pick some motivational stuff that we want to hear and read. And what you're feeding yourself changes your patterns of thought and behavior. And I'm not saying that's 100% the answer, but I do know that we have psychologists that give this out to people because it's a good framework to begin to think differently. And that's what we need to do. We need to break the thought patterns that we have, the negative thought patterns. And I'm saying don't go all like, oh, let's just think positive. That's not the way it works either. But we need to change our thought patterns. Focus more on appreciation. Focus on more on accomplishing things. You want to feel better about yourself? Accomplish something for yourself. Give yourself evidence. It can be something small. I'm making lasagna today. That's my evidence. Tonight, when we are cutting a lasagna and handing it out on dishes, that's my evidence. My goal today wasn't make $1 million. My goal today wasn't, change the world. It's make lasagna with my 2 boys. That's my evidence that I set out to do this one thing today, and that's what I'm going to do. I commit, I decide what I want to do, I commit to doing it, and then I follow through on it. And that's all we need to do to build positive momentum. So don't make it this big thing. It's small things. If getting out of bed is hard, if you don't want to get out of bed, say that I will get out of bed at 7 o'clock every morning. Commit to it, and then do it. What you do after that maybe doesn't matter for a while. Maybe what you do after that, maybe it's, you just got to get around, walk around, whatever. Maybe you call somebody. You can decide what the next step looks like. But if your hardest thing right now is getting out of bed, decide when to do it, commit to doing it, and do it. And then we take more steps after that, right? Small steps, small steps. Jamie's been trying to walk around and get outside as long as it's not raining. Getting a lot of rain. So are we. This week has been really rainy. Amanda, first time seeing me, just changed my settings to see all your stuff first on my timeline. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Diana, absolutely. Jamie, never in a million years would have thought the entire world would be going through something like this in 2020. I agree. That's very shocking. It makes you prioritize what is and isn't important. We also shouldn't take anything for granted. I'm guilty of it. We all are, right? I mean, we're conditioned to think about what's important and things that normally wouldn't be important to us. It's nuts. I mean, but so now we take stock, right? And it's funny. Like I've had that little thought in the back of my head. World War II, there was a common enemy and right and wrong, good and evil, and all this stuff, and it puts everything in perspective. And then since then, us as a country, and maybe the world is similar or different, I'm not sure, but the United States as a country just kind of drifted into our own personal priorities and things that we felt were important, but it didn't feel right over it, and it felt like it got worse. And we had little moments where we came together, like 9/11, but now I think that like this is like our big thing, and it's our opportunity to figure out what's really important. And then for maybe a generation or two, we understand it, and then it's going to start going this other way again, right? And that's kind of why I look at this and I think like I don't want people to suffer. Like I don't want people to die. I certainly don't. But if like some magical cure is found tomorrow, or if some way of making this all go away is found, um, I don't want to say this wrong, but it almost feels like it would be robbing us of the experience of trying to figure this out. Now, look, I'll be the first one to tell you if somebody close to me is suffering, I will feel this real hard right here, right? Um, but I'm in the mindset now that I try to find the good in every situation. Like that question, what am I supposed to learn from this? Going back to that quote from the movie, right? If someone prayed for courage, does God give him courage, or does he give him opportunities to be courageous? I think if we look at every situation that we're in, what am I supposed to learn from this? I hope everybody is taking the opportunity to understand what they should be learning right now. Mindset work has been great for me. Good, Diana. Good. Yeah, for me too. I mean, and that's the kind of thing that we our brain wants to think more efficiently in any way we tell it to think. So the more we practice appreciation, the more we practice looking for the good around us, the more our brain is going to adapt to do that. If we're always looking for what's wrong, we're going to find something wrong every day, and our brain is going to go, "Yeah, there's sort of something wrong here," right? Always. If you're cynical, you're always going to be cynical because your brain's going to want to keep being more cynical. You're giving your brain's direction on how to behave. Um, that and more is what I've been doing with Coach Jen. Good, awesome, Janice. Build positive momentum. Absolutely, absolutely. I know. You know what? I didn't intend to be. You know what? I read a few things and I had a conversation earlier, and I even yesterday I saw some posts in the user group, and I hate seeing people give up. And now like you see the people that they're trucking along, and we can't just go along when times are easy. When it's easy, of course. And it's easy to be disciplined. It's easy to think the way that we feel like we should be thinking. It's easy to do the things we feel we should be doing. But when times are hard, that's when we need to keep it up. That's why we do all the work we talk about. Feel the same way you do about the therapy. Being heard is really important, and shifting and changing things are huge. Helps in making a long-term difference. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like with therapy, a lot of times, um, that's what frustrated with me in the past about it is I didn't want anybody to tell me, you know, like what I'm like. I don't want anybody. I don't even want to have to try to figure it out myself. Like if I'm plain wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Like tell me this thought process is wrong. I'm okay with that. Like there are basic components of psychotherapy in like human behavior. Like certain things are wrong and destructive, and I just wanted somebody to tell me that. Like no, you're Nick, you're wrong here, right? And a lot of therapists don't want to do that. They're like, oh yeah, okay, and how does that make you feel? The stop. Just tell me what I'm doing wrong. Hello, Robin. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me again. Yeah, yeah. All right. So I went off on a long one here today. So thank you everybody for joining me. I appreciate you being here with me and letting me spout off. Look, I care about you guys, and I think when I don't want like I don't want to be hard on anybody. When I see somebody say, I'm just giving up and when quarantine's over, I'll be back at it. Like, I don't want to come down. I don't want to be like hard on that person, but at the same time, that makes me so sad, and it makes me just want to go, why? Like now is the time to grow and to double down on the hard work on ourselves. And look, it doesn't just have to be Define My Day, of course. I mean, Define My Day is the tool, it's not the work, right? This stuff that we talked about yesterday, this is all the work, right? It's the reading the books, it's exercise, it's focusing on the relationships that we want. It's all of the stuff. All of the stuff. So don't give up. Don't and look the day, like one day you might need to binge on Netflix. That's cool. Do it. Just don't make that every day. Right? You might need to just check out completely. Just like I'm done. I'm out. I got to recharge. That's okay, right? The cycle changes. Like the cycle's different right now. As long as the average is an upward trend, the average is growth. The average is, I'm taking care of myself. As long as that's the average approach, right? I'm not saying average like how everybody else does it. I'm saying the average being an upward trend. There's some days you're going to be like, I got energy. I'm going to fly at it. I'm going. Sure, do it. Understand that there's going to be a reflex, right? A rebound. And like, okay, now I'm exhausted and I got to take a break. We just don't want to take a break that takes us all the way to the bottom. Right? Jamie, have a great day. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Cam says, thank you for the transparency and reminder of the opportunity we have right now. I really had a tough time yesterday, but this video has brought me up. I also recently bought this planner and haven't written in it yet, so this is the perfect time to use it to think clearly. I think we all need to do that right now. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. All right, I'm going to get out here before I get too squishy. All right, I'll see you. Everybody have a great day. Take care. I love you guys.